Well, hello there, guys. We're taking a look today at one of my favorite Agiod's games, Rise of Prussia Gold. Now, this is one of the older games from Agiod, and it actually focuses on a pretty great period of history, of course, the Rise of Prussia. So if we go into the new game system, there is a lot of different actual scenarios to do. Of course, there's the Moldwitz campaign. Prussia's alliance will win if it fulfills all requirements stated in the ledger without incurring excessive losses. So, of course, we'd be fighting against England, along with many other countries. There's the Second Silesian War, there's the invasion of Saxony, and of course there are full campaigns to, of course, show 1756 to 1764, a bunch of different really interesting things, and we've also even got a nice multiplayer campaign here that you could check out. Now we're going to be using the actual invasion of Saxony, first blood of the 7 Years' War. So we're going to be playing as Prussia. I do believe we'll be playing as Prussia. We're going to have to look and see. Or as Austria. It could be fun. I think we'll play as Prussia. Now, we're not going to actually go into this too much. I mean, I can't promise we're going to play the entire campaign, but we'll do a little bit of movement here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So first of all, I want to show the owner of all regions. One thing that you might notice almost right away in the game is that unlike a lot of the other Agiod games where you have essentially a portrait to represent a military leader, of course, Rise of Prussia Gold, you actually have these sort of standing armies. Now, you still have your portraits over here to let you know what's going on in your army, like Weddell's Brigade, Bevern's Brigade, etc. But it is a little bit different, and it really does give a different feel to the game. Some people prefer it. Some people may not like it too much. Personally, I think it's pretty cool, but I am mostly a fan of the portraits. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start building depots right away. One thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take Schwerenskroer in Breslau, and they already have a 35% penalty, so see if we can change that by adding some major generals here. It's going to be a 30% penalty, slightly better, of course, and we've got some more men over here in Breslau to make it, once again, a 35% penalty, but we do have a massive army, so we're going to try to move into Austria, of course. It's going to take 27 days to get there. And while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and take a look at other possible attack points. Of course, certain places here I don't want to necessarily attack right away. I want to build some depots so that we have something to fall back to in case everything goes straight to hell. Now, this army is looking pretty great as well, and I think I'm going to move them into Halle. 8 days to get there, of course. We will put our men on an assault posture and also make sure they don't retreat. And let's see how it goes. We've also got a small army here, the Brunswick force, but they're not actually doing much right now. And you can see we are just surrounded by Austria at this point. So actually getting a victory here is going to be pretty damn tough, to put it simply. We will take a look at the War Ministry. There's a few other pages here, but since we're not playing the main campaign, it's unlikely that we're actually going to get any sort of political options like we would if we were playing the main campaign. But let's go ahead, go to the next turn, and see if we can get a battle going here. There we go, and beautiful, the Battle of Halle. It looks like we won with killing 170 men. Of course, we can, just like any other Agiod game, take a look at the units that were in this battle. I'm going to say thank you to Kleist's Brigade, and a pretty good victory there, but we've got to keep things up, so let's hope we can keep moving into Austria and taking back what's ours. I don't like that the supply route is going to end here, because, of course, this area is not taken by our men. So I think we're going to go ahead and maybe go straight for Torgau. This is, of course, going to be a major fight if we do end up winning. We're still on that attack phase, so we want to absolutely keep doing that. And this army is, of course, moving in as much as they can into the Austrian territory to try and get more victories. So I'm going to look around. We do have some units in these cities, but these are mainly guard units, Stadtgarnisons. So these guys will not leave their cities unless they're attacked. At that point, you can probably move them into an army, something like that. In this case, we're not going to really do much with them. So the Stadtgarnison are going to stay back. We do have a pretty nice-sized army here, even though there's not a leader leading it. So I might bring him over here to try and take this area so that we can, of course, get some supply going through here. In fact, I'm going to do the same with Hans here. I'm going to try to move into this area. And let's hope we get another battle, guys. Another thing I really like about Rise of Prussia is it is very smooth. Now, a lot of Age games, it takes a while for the turn to end. In Rise of Prussia, and it might be because it's an older game, it really is very, very, very smooth. And as you can see, we just won the Battle of Torgau Fortress, killing 184 men. We haven't taken the fortress yet entirely, but we've certainly inflicted a lot of damage as Ferdinand von Brunswick, Prince Ferdinand, of course. And we're going to continue moving through here, Austrian territory, and seeing what we can do. Mainly, we want to take these big cities and ultimately get a total victory. We can actually see that the enemy army has escaped, and we can actually stay at Torgau because we are besieging it. So I don't want to leave here, but I do want to make sure that our men are on full attack because we want to take that fortress quickly. So far, these men have not been able to take this region back. Hopefully that will end soon, but we do have our men in the west, or in the east, excuse me, and look at that. They've managed to really put some damage here in this area. Of course, they're still besieging the Bautzen Fortress, so we're going to end the turn here and hope that we can take out the Bautzen Fortress and, of course, ultimately meet these armies in the middle. That would be excellent. For the Kaiser. Okay, looks like a massive Austrian army is coming to attack. This is going to be a battle, guys. Battle of Torgau. Oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot of losses on each side. Unbelievable. Look at those numbers dropping for each side. I mean, like I said, this is going to be major. And of course, we were besieging this place. So this army is coming to the aid of the people of Torgau, this Austrian army. And there we go. Some close combat as we continue the assault. My goodness. There we go, a Prussian victory, and a beautiful one at that. I mean, we had 3,763 men lost, 52 cavalry lost, of course, but look at all the number of prisoners we took, 38 companies, 5,009 men. I would say most of those men are prisoners, not necessarily battle casualties. They probably just surrendered as the battle continued. Of course, we're still besieging this area with Prince Ferdinand, and I don't think we're going to take it yet, but it's good to see that we won that battle where we were outnumbered. Not by much, but by enough to certainly write home about. At the same time, we've got 96 cannons. Those no doubt scared the hell out of the enemy, and I hope did a lot of damage. And now, yeah, look at that. It's ours. So we have taken the city, which is really good now that we obviously have a city in control of us, and we've opened up the supply depot area. So now we can move from here with a supply depot. We also, if I'm correct here, we've got some flotilla, but we also should have an army. Yeah, here we go. The left column. So I'm going to take the left column and go down on top of Cottbus. Try to take this city from the enemy. It looks like we're still besieging Bautzen. Not much we can do there. But over here, it looks like there's still a Austrian army here, so I'm not moving anywhere. I am going to go ahead and just remain in a defensive mode. In fact, I'm going to enter the structure. The city is ours now. We might as well try to defend it. And in the meantime, I'm also going to try to send some support to defend that city as well. Also got this guy coming down from the north. Thought he was coming down from the north. And let's go deeper into Austria and end the turn. Another thing that I wanted to mention is the soundtrack of the game is excellent. One of the best soundtracks that I've heard in an AGOD game. Really gives you a true Prussian feel. But I didn't want to put it on. I don't want to mess with any sort of copyright issues. Sometimes YouTube picks up on copyright issues that aren't there. So let's end the turn and see if we can take Torgau Fortress. Or if we can defend it, in this case. Come on, men. So they now have to besiege us. So they're storming the fortress. Fire those muskets, boys. Once again, a Prussian victory, and once again, taking a ton of prisoners, 68 expressed in companies, as well as a lot of captured equipment. I think the Austrians are going to have to get the hell out of here. They are losing way too many men here. attacking us, and that's obviously a very good thing. Looks like they've got a lot of good generals here as well. Graf von Richtwitz, a lot of different brigades from them trying to attack and beat us. But so far, we're holding strong. And if we can continue that, I think we're going to have a very good situation. We just had our army actually join here. And at this point, who knows what could happen. Now, we do have the West Pomeranian Reserve. And I think I want to open up our supply area a little bit more. So I'm going to send the West Pomeranian Reserve here to Leipzig. Don't expect them to be able to take it, but we should try. And look at that. We have taken Bayern without a fight. We should keep moving southeast with this army. Of course, this is a pretty dense region, to say the least, before we reach a city or a fort. But I am going to be going to Königratz this way. We'll actually be moving through our own territory, so we should be okay. But it's going to take us 50 days through this terrain to actually make it there. And it does look like the Austrians have finally... No, what's this? Now, that's incredible. I don't know how this occurred, but the Austrians... I understand now. We did not take this area. I thought we did. This is another city we were besieging, Cottbus, of course. But we did take this one in the south. Now, that Austrian army is still there, so they are still trying to beat us in Torgau, and I'm going to have to stay there until that army is completely defeated. In fact, I think I'm going to take these guys and have them join the army. Why the heck not? I think that's probably going to be the best thing to do here. So again, we're going to hit the military control icon. There's a bunch of different icons. There's the supply limit icon, etc. You can see that Magdeburg is a major supply center, which we want to definitely hold. And let's go ahead and end the turn, do another one, and see what happens. It looks like the Austrians have gotten the hell out of here. Wonderful. They finally left Torgau. I think we can be free to build some stuff here. We could build a depot, which is definitely a good idea. And at the same time, we'll also take our guys at Cottbus. They have actually now taken Cottbus. And I'm going to try to go ahead and take all these roads. It doesn't seem like a big deal, really. But if we can go from here to Pirna, I think that's going to be a big victory. Of course, anytime you're crossing water to take a location, you're probably going to get into some nasty situations, as you could probably imagine. Now, I want to see here, we've got some available replacements, which I really like the replacements idea that they have. It's quite different from a lot of other Agiod games. And we can just take a look here at the Victory Points and Objectives tab. And as you can see, total combat losses, we've lost 5,509 men. The enemy's lost 10,396 men. So just really, really awesome stuff here. We're going to go ahead and keep taking a look. King Frederick the Great. We're going to go ahead. König. So it's not actually the Kaiser, it's the König. I'm sure people are going to be correcting me on that nonstop. Let's make sure that this army is also moving south, possibly towards Erfurt. Could be blocked because of just the movement needed to get there. I'm going to try to at least go for Leipzig. So it might take us a while to get there, but we are on the move. And I think since we've got this guy... the right column, we were going to build a depot, but maybe we should just keep on attacking. Nonetheless, we'll go for the depot, we'll end the turn, let's hope for the best, guys. There to worry about at least. We do have this general on the way, Heickenberg. He's going to be moving in. And we definitely want to be careful. As you can see, agents from Austria have begun a campaign to impose requisition from the local populace. For those of you that have played Revolution Under Siege and other Agiod games, this game has similar political possibilities as that one does, in the sense that you can try to apply for requisitions, you can try to force the people to give you what you want. I don't necessarily recommend it. It's going to be tough, but we go into decision mode, for instance, and we can do some recon, which probably not a bad idea. We can put some siege works up. We can even surrender entire armies. So essentially weakening enemy armies and enticing them to surrender. I think we need to have an army in the region, though, before using that decision. So that is not going to be possible, at least not right now, but certainly an interesting possibility later on down the line. So now that we have quite a number of troops here, we've got the right column, we've got the wonderful Keith score here. And we're going to go for Pirna. This is where we were trying to go before. And of course, with the right column, we're going to go for Dresden, the great city of Dresden. Try to take it from these Austrian scoundrels and continue moving with the rest of our armies. Wish us luck, guys. Here we go. Okay, so we actually, Battle of Pirna Camp, we won, but we only killed 30 enemies. There's going to be more for sure. It was just basically an ammo train, but that place is full of enemies. So it's not going to be an easy fight by any means. We're going to try to do our best, but let's see how it goes here. And try to grab a victory, and now it's winter time. This is obviously going to lead to some historical attrition, which we do need to be careful with. But as you can see right here, particularly Dresden is going to be very hard to take. We've got a bunch of guys here besieging it, but I'm not entirely comfortable that they can actually win. And I'm actually merging this army together, and we are going to try to attack Pirna, and we're going to try to attack Dresden too with a full-out assault of the city itself. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm not sitting outside here during the winter and freezing my men's butts off. That's not going to help anybody except the enemy. So let's hope that we get a win here. Let's also take a look over here into Bohemia. I believe this is Bohemia. Hessen, sorry. We might have some armies there, but I haven't actually seen any activity from the region. Let's end the turn and hope for the best. And of course, King Friedrich is all the way over here, safe in Potsdam, actually in Berlin, excuse me. And hopefully he can remain safe for a little while longer. Let's go for another attack and see how we do. Okay, another Prussian victory at Pirna Camp. Not a lot of men here, so it's really not that interesting of a battle. We should have taken it already, but at least Dresden is still being besieged. The same is true for Glatz. I believe the same is true for Glatz. We'll see at the end of this turn. And I'm actually seeing some Austrian armies moving around here. So we're not at Glatz yet, but we are on the way to Glatz. And that's certainly an area we probably want to take. Let's end the turn one more time. Hope that this siege works. But it does look like Dresden is going to be an extremely hard siege. We might need to bring in more than one army to be able to siege and take this city. As you can see, there are major amounts of Prussian forces within, Austrian forces within, and we absolutely want to see if we can break their morale. But it looks like so far they're holding out. And there we go. That's it. That's the end of that tiny little campaign. Of course, there are many other campaigns that are a little longer. This one was a stalemate, and our score was much higher than our opponent's score. So we should pat ourselves on the back. But I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share the video if you haven't. Pick up Rise of Prussia on Steam if you enjoy it enough. And if you guys want to see more Rise of Prussia, let me know in the comments down below. As always, we've got a Patreon account that I'm also going to put, which if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do that as well. We ask for about $2 a month. I don't think that's a lot. If you want to contribute more, please feel free to do so. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care, and glory to the Koning.